Hello and welcome to the MyHeritage webinar series. I'm Miriam Pierre-Louis, your host, broadcasting to you live from Eastern Massachusetts. Today we have Tal Erlichman, who is with us live in Israel for his class, New Breakthroughs in MyHeritage's Photo Tools. Thanks to Tal and thanks to all of you for registering for today's live webinar. So wherever and whenever you are, glad to have you with us. And now to introduce our speaker, Tal Erlichman is Director of Product Management at MyHeritage. He is responsible for MyHeritage's core genealogy service, including the family tree, matching technologies, and the historical record search engine. Tal comes from a computer science background specializing in mobile security for BYOD solutions and was part of the Let Mobile team acquired by Ivanti in 2012. Please put your virtual hands together and let's give Tal Erlichman a nice, warm webinar welcome. Tal, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. Hi, Marianne. Hi, everyone. Great to be here today.
And it's great to have you here. We're excited to see what you have to show us today. So I'm going to switch over to your screen.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, it looks perfect. Time's all yours, Tal.
Great. Thanks, Marianne. So, again, great to be here with everyone. Always fun. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Today's session is going to be about photo tools that we have on MyHeritage, or actually very advanced photo features that we have been working on tirelessly in the last 16 or 18 months, and were added to the platform gradually. I'm sure that most of you already heard about at least some of them. And today we're going to cover some of them and also talk about a hot new feature that we just launched about a week or two ago, which is really nice and helpful. So just a bit about how it all started, how it all began. We experimented about a year and a half ago with the technology for colorizing black and white photos, which we thought is a very interesting technology, especially for genealogists who own a lot of black and white photos. And we decided to make a collaboration with another company that owned that technology. And we launched a feature called MyHeritage in Color that allows basically to colorize black and white photos. And it was a big success. A lot of users were having a lot of fun with that, not sleeping for many days, colorizing their old photos. And this led us to the understanding that there is a lot of demand for our users and also for other people that are not necessarily using MyHeritage for their genealogy research. And a lot of those people came to the platform and uploaded their photos and started using those tools. So afterwards, we've experimented with several other technologies, and we were able to identify a few things that could be extremely helpful when working with historical photos. As we know, as genealogists, we all have historical photos. Usually, we try to keep them safe. We try to keep them attached to our family tree. And tagged so that the photos will be attached to the individuals in our tree. But mostly the usage of photos in genealogy research ends with that. Some of us also create posters and other types of visual assets from those photos, but eventually today there are amazing technologies that were made possible using artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies that allow us in one button click to do amazing things, and that's what I'm going to show today. So basically, MyHeritage throughout the last year became the industry leader in historical photo tools. As I said, it started with MyHeritage in color, and then we launched another feature called MyHeritage Photo Enhancer that enhances the resolution of old photos and takes blurry faces and puts them into focus. We'll see that later as well. We launched the heat feature, Deep Nostalgia, which I'm sure at least some of you heard of it. It was an amazing success. And our recent feature for which we call Photo Repair for fixing scratched or damaged photos. And I'm going to talk about that one in depth later. I'm also going to show you how to use those features, how to find them on the website. So I hope that I will answer all questions. And if you'll have more questions, of course, we can talk about them at the end. So I will start with a really brief recap of what MyHeritage in color is for those less familiar. As I said, a technology for colorizing black and white photos. Or at least it started with black and white photos, and later on we added additional capabilities there. Photos are basically being colorized using deep learning technology, which was licensed from a company called the Oldify. You can see a great example on the right-hand side of a black and white photo shown in color. This is another really nice example. Basically, the original photo is on the left-hand side, a black and white photo that was colorized using this artificial intelligence technology. Basically, what this technology does is that it studies, it learns from looking at millions of different photos, mostly historical photos, and try to understand the colors of our world and how it looked like in the past, and eventually from this learning apply the same things, the same logic that it learned on photos that are in black and white. So eventually the result is what you can see here on the screen. This technology is able to identify the colors of the clothes and the labels of the bottles and how the counter would have looked like. And it has a lot it has basically an amazing power to understand how things could have looked like. Doesn't mean that the colors are genuine and that they looked exactly like that, but it's a pretty good guesstimation into how that scene would have looked like at that bar in the 50s, I believe, or something like that, something around that. Here's another example for colorizing black and white photos. You can see a family having lunch together. You can see the color of the clothes, the color of the grapes and the food, and even the walls and the windows. Everything is very true to the source, and usually the results that you will get are around the same examples that you are seeing right here on the screen right now. And this is indeed a fascinating technology. Eventually, it tries to learn how different objects could have looked like. And I think that the result is quite nice. Later on, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, we've released a second part or a second phase for this technology, which we call color restoration, that allows to restore and revive the authentic colors in faded color photos. And again, on the left-hand side, you can see the original photo, and on the right-hand side, you can see the photo after applying this color restoration. So as you can see, this technology is more suitable for photos taken in the 60s, the 70s, 80s, and sometimes even in the 90s, sorry. Because usually those photos had a bit of a brown overlay on top of them, it was either happening because of the exposure level of the camera, or the photos themselves faded over the years because of the way they were kept. And I think most of us have photos like that in their albums. And eventually, this technology doesn't reinvent the colors. Like you can see and look at the details in both versions of the photo. You can see that the colors are pretty genuine. We are not reinventing color here like we do with black and white colorization. What we are mostly focused here on removing the noise that was not natural to the way the photo was taken. So this is a nice example. This is another nice example. You can see pretty much the same things I was talking about in the previous example. So to sum this up, the first technology, colorizing black and white photos, is more suitable for older photos. Before we had color cameras. And later on, for photos taken in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, this technology is very, very valuable, and people are using it quite a lot on our platform. The second technology that I want to cover is what we call the MyHeritage Photo Enhancer. What the MyHeritage Photo Enhancer does, it basically enhances photos and enhances the resolution of photos and bring blurry faces into focus. And by enhancing the resolution, I mean that if the photo had a certain number of pixels, we basically, using artificial intelligence, multiply the number of pixels in the photo by 4, which makes everything shown in the photo very sharp. And very much in focus. One of the main problems in historical photos that they were taken with older cameras, which were taking photos in lower resolution, and eventually it's hard to look at details and to zoom in and to really see the faces. And this technology allows to bridge the gap between modern photography and the good old days in which we took photos, but we couldn't really look at the details and see them well. And the MyHeritage Photo Enhancer basically comes to bridge that gap. It's great for odd and blurry photos, but it also works on color photos, not necessarily on black and white photos. You can try pretty much any type of photo. If you try this technology on a very recent photo taken with a modern iPhone, most likely that you won't see any difference, because the modern iPhone would show a pretty amazing resolution of the photo. And eventually, this technology doesn't only focus on enhancing the full photo, but it also has a special focus for faces. And when it finds a face in the photo, it takes that face, it crops it out of the photo and tries to enhance it even further than what I mentioned regarding multiplying by 4. So this is why the faces come out much clearer. Of course, because it's a deep learning based technology, it sometimes can produce results that are unexpected. Sometimes the face might not look genuine enough, but in many or most cases, it works quite well and produces good results. And you can enhance colorized photos and colorize enhanced photos, and you can use them together, both features together. Here you can see an example. We see a group of people here standing outside a wine shop in Paris. And the 2 gentlemen marked in blue here are magnified here in the right-hand side of the slide. And you can see this is zooming on the original image, on the original face. And this is after applying the photo enhancer. You can see how sharp the face looks suddenly, and how you can see each and every detail in the face while still seeing the same person. Like, we are not reinventing here anything. And this is pretty much genuine to the source. When we started looking at this technology and seeing if it's good enough for our usage, I used it on my own family photos, and I found that photo, which is a photo of my grandmother here on the left hand side, with her mother and her young brother. My grandmother had 9 brothers and sisters. This photo was taken in Poland just before the war started, and that's pretty much the only photo that I have of my grandmother from that time, I mean, and also, of course, of her mother and her brother. Basically, both of them perished in the Holocaust, and my grandmother is the sole survivor, together with 2 other siblings. The rest perished as well. And what was so emotional for me is seeing this photo, and seeing this photo was the ability to suddenly see both my grandmother and her mother, my great grandmother, suddenly in such high focus, and being able to see all the details in her face and how she looked like as a kid. Suddenly she really reminded me of my father as a younger person, and it was really emotional for me. And at that moment I understood that this is an amazing technology that we must bring to our users. And I think we had the same emotions for many other people in the company. Of course, before we launch a feature like that, we give it to a lot of people to try it out and tell us what they think. And it was pretty clear that people like it. So that's the MyHeritage photo enhancer, and as I said, we can use both features, both the photo enhancer and MyHeritage in color together to enhance and colorize photos. I will show it a bit later how we can combine them. Now I want to talk a bit about Deep Nostalgia. Deep Nostalgia is this hit feature that lets you animate the faces in photos, or in our case, family photos. In this case, photos are animated using deep learning technology that we licensed from an Israeli startup called DID. They specialize in video reenactment. And basically what this technology does, for those that haven't seen it ever, is being able to take a still photo and animate faces that appear in the photo. I will try to play the video. Hope you'll be able to see it. This is, again, a still photo that we are animating using artificial intelligence. I will show it again if it was too quick. Now, this feature became a big hit all around the world. It was used more than 84 million times until today. It was launched about 3 months ago, and it picked up amazingly. Maybe I'll show a few examples of that later if we'll have time. So the Deep Nostalgia feature, one of the issues with that is that it requires a high resolution faces input to apply the animation. And the problem is that we have all the old photos that usually come in lower resolutions, and usually the faces are small and blurry. And you can see here, if I'll zoom in on the 3 faces we saw in this photo, this is how they will look like after zooming in. And if I would try to use this animation technology like that, you'll see a very blurry video, very blurry animation, which will not be as good as it can get. But what we are doing, luckily, we have the photo enhancer technology that I just showed you. And the photo enhancer can take these faces and simply make them better, like that. And now we can apply the animation technology. So if I play the video here of the boy, you can see how he's moving, and the result is much, much cleaner this way. This is for his mother. This is for the father. I hope you are able to see it well. I'll play it again. So as I said, after enhancing those photos, they become much clearer, and we're able to see the animations in much better quality, which makes a really realistic experience. Now you probably ask yourself, how do we do this magic? So DID's technology basically uses two elements to create this. It uses an input photo that we want to animate, the photo that you can see here on the right-hand side. It also uses an actor or a model that is doing the face gestures that we want the animation to do, or the animated face to do. And we call it a driver video. Basically, the person on the left drives the moves of the person on the right. You can see it here, an example of that. The person on the left is a co-worker of mine. His name is Sagi. He's working for MyHeritage as well. And he was our model for many of the animations that we created. We spent hours over hours, maybe weeks, filming those drivers to create the best ones and to create the best experience that we can get. So we filmed a lot of short videos like that of Sagi making the face gestures and a few other people as well. And all of the animations that maybe some of you saw are of those few people that we filmed making these face gestures. So this is how we animate the photos. Now, colorized photos can also be animated. So if the photo that we are looking at here is the original photo, a black and white one, after we apply photo enhancement and we apply colorization, this is the result that we get. A photo is both enhanced and colorized. And what we can do is basically we can animate a photo that was both enhanced and colorized. So if that's the original, that is black and white and was never moving, and you've never had a chance to see this person moving. Like imagine this was your great-grandfather that you've never met, and now for the first time you can see this person in color and moving is something remarkable, because you could have never seen a video of those. And we saw many people that got really emotional about this. Help them reunite with their lost ones, and also to meet for the first time they've never met in person by looking at how they do gestures with their faces. And I think that once you combine all those capabilities, all those technologies together, you're really able to bridge the gap between you and your ancestors that you've never met, and sort of take a time travel and be with them in a unique moment that is special for you. And this is why we believe that it got emotional for many people and became such a viral phenomena. And I will show a bit of the reactions that we've seen online, on social media and many other places. This is a TikTok video captured by someone. I will just show it, and I hope you'll be able to hear the sound. There's a bit of sound here, but even if you can't, you can read the captions. Oh, sorry. So these are really like just 2 or 3 examples that of users that shared with us and with the world their amazing results. But we had a total explosion on social media: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. People were sharing in their family WhatsApp groups, and it became like really, really hysteric. And you can see many nice examples of different people here sharing the animations that they've created. You can see the one on the left. This is my great-grandmother, Caitlin. I've always felt so close to her, even though she died when I was 2 years old. This deep nostalgia video brought tears to my eyes to see her move, almost like seeing her as she was posing for this photo. Remarkable. So we really saw a lot of these. And also people took it to other directions that we actually didn't aim for in the beginning, but we saw that people find it useful to use it on celebrities and on famous people that passed away long ago. And they were able to bring back people like Rosalind Franklin or Alan Turing or Frederick Douglass. And it was pretty amazing to see how creative people became and which people they tried to bring back. And you can see that the number of reactions, like 100,000 likes for a single photo, and we had a lot of those. So this really reached a lot of places in the world. I can also share that for a short time it got to a point where we just couldn't handle more load. Our servers of MyHeritage were just unable to serve more requests coming from many people around the world. We saw people from Japan and the US and the Middle East and Brazil and the US, of course, and Canada and Europe, really like all around the globe, even in areas where usually we don't really have much users, but because it became such a viral phenomena online, many people were sharing and many people were seeing that as well. And you can see that even people took it to really strange places, started to animate paintings of Van Gogh, for example, or even because we created many different driver videos, like I showed earlier of Sagi, people were starting to imitate those videos and create funny videos of themselves doing those face gestures, and that became viral on its own. So there was a series of people trying to become drivers for deep nostalgia, which is really nice. We also saw a lot of competitive applications starting to create a deep nostalgia-like features. I'm sure you've seen some of those online, and it was really, really amazing to see. Of course, also coverage in the media, more than it's actually not even up to date, more than 1,500 different publishers written stories, reviews, articles about deep nostalgia, including the biggest newspapers in the world, and many TV channels as well created pieces about this technology. Here's an example of our CEO and founder Gilad Jaffet talking about this feature live on CNN. In a very nice piece about covering this feature. We also had Jimmy Kimmel doing opening one of his shows with a piece talking about this feature. So it really reached pretty much everywhere. Okay, so that was about the nostalgia. If you have questions about it, we can talk about it later. I want to move on to our latest and the greatest feature that we just added a couple of weeks ago. We called it the MyHeritage Photo Repair. What Photo Repair does is basically automatically fixes scratches, tears, holes, creases, stains, and any other damage that you can think of on top of historical photos. You can see an example here. On the left-hand side, that's the original photo, which has sustained a lot of damage. Some of it is creases or small holes in the photo. And after applying Photo Repair, you see the end result, which cleans all this noise from the photo, and is able to fill it with how the photo should have looked like. This technology is also licensed from the same deep learning experts, Jason Antic and Dana Kelly. From the Oldify, the guys who invented the colorization technology. So they also work on this technology with our help as well. You can see here more examples. You can see really like different types of damage on the photo that we are able, using this technology, to clean up from the photo. That's another one. You can see another type of damage. You can see this line in the middle of the photo that makes it's not something genuine, of course. It happened over the years, and once we apply the Photo Repair technology, we can see that it's almost completely gone. What this technology does is that it looks for patterns on top of the photo. Like it learns how a photo should have looked like, and what parts of this photo don't look like they belong to the photo itself. And basically, it creates a template on top of the photo. And once it identifies this entire template, it can remove those pixels, and instead replace them with surrounding pixels of the same color. And in this way, you're not really able to notice that these holes are being filled with something. So even if we took a graphic designer and would ask him to do the same thing, it's something that is possible to do manually as well, but it's a hard work. It's a hard job for those that delve a bit with photos. Fixing a photo like that could take time, and it requires someone that is professional. And some people do hire experts to do those kinds of things to get those stains and creases out of their scanned photos. And this is something that this technology is able to do with a click of a button, which is quite amazing. You can see here another example. You can really see all those creases on top of the photo some in the surrounding area of the photo, and some really on top of the faces of these children. And this is the result after removing them. So in most cases, we are able to get most of the damage out. Here's another example. You can see this and this. That is cannot be seen on the repaired photo here at the bottom. Now, we have two different types of deep learning models that we created for this, or that actually Deoldify created for this feature. If on the left-hand side we see the original image, we have two different models for repairing this image. One is what we call the gentle repair model, which is the default one used on the platform. I will show soon how to use it. And you can see that after applying this repair, still there is some damage here at the top and here on top of the hair that wasn't removed using this model. That's because the default is quite gentle. But you can also choose a more aggressive or extensive model that removes more damage from the photo. The reason this is, and that's the result after applying the extensive repair model, which you can agree that now Abraham Lincoln doesn't have this damage on his head, and it's the result here is much nicer. The reason this is not the default model is that sometimes when applying the extensive repair model, because it tries to do a more aggressive action, it might remove from the photo objects or things that are part of the photo and are not damaged on the photo. So it has its drawbacks to use it all the time. So what we recommend is always using the default model, and only in cases where it doesn't do the entire job, try to apply the extensive model. And if the result is better, you can save the results with the extensive model. I will show soon how to use it. One more thing that you can do is to combine photo tools together. Basically, you can combine the repair, including the photo enhancer and the colorization technology. On the left-hand side, you see the original photo, which has a lot of damage on it. This is the repaired photo, which is much better now. If you would just try to apply the colorization technology, you will still see all those stains on the left. I wish I had an example to show. Maybe I can show it on the site later. So the repair, running the repair first removes all this damage. And then you can run the photo enhancer and colorization to get to this result. And if you look only at the face of that lady, that bride, you can see the difference between the original portrait and the portrait after we repaired, enhanced, and colorized it. So it's pretty nice. Here you can see an example of the same thing. Again, a lot of damage here. This is after repairing this damage, and this is the result after also enhancing and colorizing the photo. And you can also take this original photo and apply the animation technology and see the photo after it was repaired, enhanced, colorized, and animated. This is the result that you will get. So you can see that it's quite nice, the animation that is created. Still, there is a bit of damage here on the ear and a bit on the hat, and over here it's not perfect. But you can also see that the damage here was really severe in this case. There were a lot of things, and this damage on top of the ear is very non-trivial to understand, because it could have been also part of the ear. So you just see the complexity, and you see that it's not always perfect. but still the result is really nice. Here's another example. Here the damage is really like a scar on top of her face. Like, imagine if that was a photo of your mother, it would have been really nice to remove these scars and see her like that, or even like that after repairing, enhancing, and colorizing the photo. And here you can see the same trick. After also animating the photo, it will look like that. So you see how nicely we were able to remove the scars from her face, the crease that created the scar. Still, always there are some things that are not completely perfect. Like here, the hair is not completely true to the source. Fortunately, we cannot let you fix it with manual tools. You can try it with different software, but eventually also this technology has its own limitations. So that's the result that you will get from combining those photo tools together. Another thing worth mentioning is that the order of applying the features is not really important because we always will pick the same order when we run everything in the background, which means that we always will first do repair on top of the damaged photos, then we'll enhance the photo, then we'll colorize it, and at the end we'll animate it. So it doesn't matter what you did first. Eventually we'll run it in the same way, and I will show it now. So let me switch to my web browser. I hope you can see it. Let me know, Marianne, if there's any issue to see it, but that's basically the MyHeritage website, the MyHeritage platform.
Everything's looking good, Tal.
To get to this page, great. To get to this page, what you need to do is click on the Photos tab in the top navigation bar. You have your Family Tree, Discoveries, Photos, DNA, and Research. You need to click the Photos tab, and you will get here to this page. It will show you all the photos that you've already uploaded. If you've never uploaded photos to MyHeritage, don't worry. You will have a button here to upload photos. You'll be able to add them here and start working with all those tools. So let's look at an example. Let's look at the example of these sisters. After clicking on the photo, you will get to this page. This page is what we call the photo page. And the photo page includes different things about the photo. For example, you can see the title of the photo and the date when it was taken. You can also add the place where the photo was taken. And you can do other things like tag the photo like that, select the name of the person, and so on. We'll not do it right now. And you can add additional information, keywords, and notes, and also write yourself comments on the photo. So that's the basic stuff that you're all familiar also from other platforms. But the exciting things are the buttons here at the top right. These are the features that we've spoken about so far. And from left to right, we have the repair feature, which is new, the enhance for the photo enhancer, colorize, and animate. What's nice about the repair feature is that it's not always relevant. Like most of your photos are not photos that sustained any damage. Like for example, I can take another photo. Maybe let's take something without any damage, like this guy. And you'll be able to see that we are not even showing you this button, the repair button here at to the left of the enhance button. The reason is that before we display you this photo, we run a check on the photo, and we try to analyze if there is any damage to this photo, creases, holes, anything. And only in that case, we will show you the repair button. So you know that when you see this button, it's worthwhile to click it, because this button will help you fix those issues in the photo. But when it's not relevant, you will not see this button here. So you're able to focus on other things that will be good for you, like colorizing this photo or animating this photo, and so on. Let's go back to the photo that they chose. So this photo of the sisters did sustain some damage here at the top right corner and here at the bottom. And if we want to fix it, we can click the repair button. After we click the repair button, we'll see this short animation. And once the process is done, you'll see a slider in the middle, and you'll be able to take it from left to right. If you take it all the way right, you'll see the before version. And if you'll take it all the way to the left, you'll see the after version that doesn't include any damage, which is nice. If you'll also use the enhance feature, click on the enhance button, you'll see another loading experience. And again, you'll see the same slider that you saw previously. And now we enhance the photo. To really see the difference, you can just zoom in, for example, on this lady. You see this? That's before and that's after. So really seeing the difference is better when you zoom in some of the photos. But you can also go here to the gallery of the faces that we were able to identify and just click any of them. So for example, if I want to look at this lady right here, I can zoom in only on her and see this is the before and this is the after. Let's see another example. That's the before and that's the after. Here you can see some small problem with how the photo enhancer imagined that maybe there's glasses here. So here there's a small mistake. It can happen also here. Now actually here I think there were glasses that will help to see. Yes, here there were glasses. So it was able to make it more clear. And if we'll go back to the main photo, we can also colorize that photo. And that's the result that we'll get after colorizing the photo. Now we also colorize each and every portrait once you click on it. So you can see here the result, which is quite nice. And of course, you can also try to animate this face. You click the animate button and you'll see this pop-up window with this gallery at the bottom, allowing you to navigate between different faces and see the animation of different faces. Now we see this animation. But you can also, of course, try an animation of another person here at the bottom. So just by clicking it, it will process the photo and will create the animation video. For every photo that you created an animation video, you'll see a play icon at the bottom right corner. So you'll be able to have an indication that this face was already animated. You can, of course, play it again by clicking the play button. Something else that is nice is a feature that we've added recently. which allows you to select different animations. So we have two groups of animations. We have the general animations and we have what we call special animations. The general animations are really like mostly similar gestures to what you saw here, movements of the face. And the special animations are things that are more specific, I would say. For example, let's try dance 2. I haven't tried it on this photo. Not every driver works well on every photo. You sometimes need to play with a few to get to the best experience and best results. So here you can see her a bit like dancing, maybe listening to music or something like that, which is quite cool. Not something you would expect, not the types of moves that you would expect her to do. But that's kind of nice. And you can see other things like the one we call thankful. Well, I'm not sure how thankful that lady looks like, but it's indeed a different type of gesture. And you can try all of them. And of course, for each one that you've liked, you can download the animation to your laptop. It's an MP4 file. You can simply click on it and it will open. So you can save all those to your laptops, to your computers. And of course, you can share them on social media. You can share them to Facebook, to Twitter, or even copy a link and send it via email or WhatsApp. I can show you what happens when you try to share it. If you post it, for example, to Facebook, you post something that will look like this link. When someone will click on what you've posted, will get to this page, will be able to see the original photo and to experience the animation that you just created. And this person will be able to also upload his own photo and try it out himself. I haven't mentioned it, but for all the features that I've shown, we give the option to use them for free for a few photos. You can colorize a few photos, enhance a few photos, and also animate, I think, 2 or 3 photos. And eventually, for using the feature again and again on different photos, you'll need to have a MyHeritage complete subscription. And this is something that you can purchase on our site. It will let you know whenever you run out of your free usages, and will take you to a payment page where you can complete the purchase and continue using this feature for how much that you want. Okay, I'll go back to the sisters example. Where was I? It was here. Yeah. Okay, if I close that, I'm back here in this screen. One other thing that I didn't mention is that you can always delete the version that you created that you didn't like. For example, let's go back to the main photo. If you didn't like the end result that you got, you can click here in the delete menu, delete the improved photo, and try again, maybe only colorizing the photo, only repairing it. Sometimes one of the features will lead the photo to look not as good as you had without that feature. So you can always go back and delete the improved photo and try again to apply any of the tools that you want. So that's also, I think, good to know. One other thing, or maybe last thing, if I have a couple of minutes, that I wanted to show is how to use the extensive repair model. So if that's the photo we've seen earlier of Abraham Lincoln, we can repair his photo. And after the photo is done repairing, you see that we still have this scratch that I showed earlier. What you can do is click this small cogwheel button. After clicking it, you will see a menu at the right-hand side open. We call it photo settings. And these are specifically two different options that you have for the photo repair feature. You can click the extensive repair model and click preview. It will not save anything when you click preview. We'll just re-repair the photo using this extensive mode. And now you're able to see the result that you got. You don't see anymore this crease on top of the photo, this damage. And if you want to compare to how it looked like when you use gentle repair, you can just click the photo, a long click, and don't continue clicking until you stop clicking. You will see the before version, and this is the after version. If you liked the result that the extensive repair model gave you, you can simply click the save button, and this will become the new version of your repaired photo. So that's very useful to know. Also, if you colorize the photo, we have a settings panel here that allows you to play with different settings of the colorization. Sometimes you see the result is a bit yellowish. You can play a bit with the saturation and switch between rendering modes and colorization models. We have a few different models that were trained on different photos, and sometimes they produce better results if you try them. Maybe we can just try the alternative model for a second, just to show you the difference. I haven't tried it on this photo. Yes, you can see here, I hope, the difference. This one is more whitish, and this one is more yellowish, I would say. So you can really play with that and get to the best result in your opinion. I won't get into all the settings right now because we don't really have time. One last thing I want to show is how to find those features if you're not a MyHeritage user. So if you want to tell your friends that they should go and try it out themselves, they can simply go to myheritage.com/incolor, and that will take them to a page where they can simply upload the photo, complete a quick sign up that will take maybe 1 minute or less, and then we will automatically colorize or restore the colors in their photo. Same goes for enhancing a photo. You can go to myheritage.com/photo enhancer. I hope that maybe Marianne can later post those links in the chat so you can all find them. That's the myheritage.com/photo enhancer. And for Find Nostalgia, you can go to myheritage.com/getnostalgia. And in all those pages, the flow is the same. You just upload a photo, sign up if you're not already signed up, and you can see the features. You can also see a gallery of examples right here below. So it's quite nice. And that's it. Soon we will have also a page like that only for the photo repair feature. It's something that will be live in the next month. I think that's pretty much it. I would like to thank you, everyone, for listening. I had a great time. I hope you had a good time as well and learned a few new things about our photo tools. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Well, Tal, this was great. People are saying that they know what they're going to be doing tonight because they're going to go test this out. One question for just a couple people who were a little bit overwhelmed with all the steps involved. Are there any sort of step-by-step instructions, either in a blog post or a document, a PDF or something, that can just walk somebody through? Go here first, then click that. Do you have anything like that?
Yeah. We definitely have some articles in our knowledge base center. We can post some links later or send over email. We also, again, if I'll just go back to those pages, even if you are a MyHeritage user, can you still see my screen?
Yep, I haven't switched back yet, so
Yes.
I believe we're still seeing your screen.
Even even if you are a MyHeritage user, you can always just go to these links, myheritage.com/in-color/photo enhancer and bit nostalgia. They were meant to be super simple, so you don't need to do anything. You just upload a photo and we'll animate it. Maybe try it out here. You can see this nice photo here. I'm uploading it, and that's it. It will just happen instantly without doing anything else. So it's one button to click. All you need to know is which page to go to, and I hope that we can post the links for those pages in the chat.
Yep.
So after
Yep,
you
they're in the chat.
uploaded that photo, you're just animating it, and you'll be able to see the results right on your screen and switch between them.
Oh, and then one other thing before I get to the announcements and such. A couple people have mentioned that they don't see the repair button. Is that like slowly rolling out? Why wouldn't some people see the repair button option?
Okay, good question that I forgot to mention. Um, as I said earlier, only when we detect damage on the photo, we are showing the repair button right here. So we want to show this button only when it's relevant to you to use. If we are not showing this button, it means that we didn't detect any damage in the photo.
Okay.
However,
Okay.
if you still want to try to use it on a photo that you believe that has any damage, what you can do, let's take one photo like that so I can show this. If I click on this guy, you will see, as I showed earlier, that you don't have the repair button. What you can do is click this icon, the three dots icon here. It's a more menu, and you'll be able to find the repair feature here. So you can always try to use it, even on photos where you don't see it appearing in front of your eyes. And we're putting the button in front of your eyes to just make you aware when it's relevant.
Can you
so
click?
You won't be using it.
Can you click repair on that one there so we can see? Just curious what it would do.
Yeah, now you can see.
Will just do minimal?
Yeah, it will do the same thing. You won't really see much of a difference. Mm-hmm. It's a bit sharper right now, but it's not like something significant. You can see here on the dash of the suit right here. I'm not sure you're really able to see it. If you remove the bit of the stain here. Mm-hmm. But it's not. I'm not sure that everyone can see it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of marks there, yeah.
Yeah. So really not the best photo to try it out on, and that's why we are not showing the button in front of your eyes, but you can always find it in the three dots menu.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so I did, for those of you who are asking for the guide, Tal said that there were articles in the knowledge base that will give you step-by-steps on how to use these. And the last link I put in the chat was the knowledge base. So you can go there, and I would suggest you probably just search for colorize or enhancer or something like that. All right, let me take back the control. Tal, let me do a couple announcements, and then I'll bring you right back on for the Q&A, okay? All right, so our next MyHeritage webinar is going to be Top Tips for Reviewing Smart Matches and Record Matches by Daniel Horowitz. So I believe that'll be in about 2 weeks. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you register so you can watch that as well. And now we have a couple door prizes for you. It's always fun to get a door prize after watching webinars about new technology. I mean, you feel like you already got a prize already, but here you go. We have a chance for another prize. So our first door prize, we have the 1-year MyHeritage Complete Plan, which includes 2 parts you can see here on the screen. First, you'll receive the Premium Plus Family Site subscription, which includes unlimited size capacity for your family tree and enhanced smart matching, along with all the other things you see listed there. Second, you'll receive a data subscription, which gives you unlimited access to over 13 billion historical records at MyHeritage. The newspaper collection is one of my favorite parts. I'm always talking about the newspaper collection. Recently, I found a newspaper announcement for my grandparents' wedding, and that was really fun to see, like, who were the bridesmaids and things like that. All right, so now I've got to choose a winner. Let me make this big so I can scroll it. All right, and that's going to go to Steve Gulgowski. So congratulations, Steve. I'm just jotting your name down. You'll get an email from me later today with some information on how you'll get your prize. All right, our next door prize is a MyHeritage DNA test kit. The DNA kit will show you your ethnicity as well as who you match with as DNA cousins. One of the newest features added to MyHeritage DNA is that you can now compare your genetic groups to those of your DNA matches. So when you click on your genetic groups, you'll learn more information about the group, and you'll see a link to your DNA matches who share the same genetic group. So they're just making things easier for you all around. All right, so let's choose a winner for the DNA kit. And that is going to go to Cleo Hamerl. I'm sorry, Cleo, if I said your name wrong, but either way, you're a winner. So congratulations, and I'll be sending you an email so you can get your prize. All right, let's bring Tal back on here so he can answer some. Oh, and let's see what we have here. Any more? Nope. Okay, let's get to the questions. No more announcements. All right, we have quite a few questions. And we'll just bring up. All right, so Tal, the first question from Janet. Would the color restoration be usable for color photos taken in the 1950s or even the 1940s? And does this work on Polaroid photos too?
And does it what again?
She's asking, would the color restoration, the fixing the color, would that work on colors taken in the 1950s or the 1940s? Yeah, early color, I think is what she's saying, and also Polaroid photos. Those. You're so young, you probably don't even remember Polaroid photos.
Definitely, both Polaroid and photos from the 1940s and 50s can be significantly improved using color restoration. Usually, I only not recommending of trying it on new photos taken, in the last 2 centuries, because cameras were really, really good. But definitely, like 40s, 50s, Polaroid, definitely.
Diane is asking, what resolution will the downloaded photos be?
So depending on which photo, like if you take the original photo, we'll download the photo in the same resolution that you uploaded it, up to, I believe, some maximum that in some maximum resolution we downscale it a bit, but nothing too significant. Like we support pretty large photos. But for enhanced photos, if you enhance your photo, it will download it in the enhanced resolution, which is double the number of pixels in each axis. So eventually you will get a much bigger photo.
Oh. So the ones that aren't enhanced, so are you saying that the colorized ones,
the colorized photos, colorized and color restored photos will download in the same resolution that they were uploaded in. We're not changing the resolution. But enhanced photos, because we are increasing the resolution, you will see bigger photos.
Okay. So I think you touched on this a little bit when you were demonstrating that you can, on Abraham Lincoln there, that you can use some of the options. Janine is asking, can you manually correct a color choice? And if you can't manually correct a color choice, well, do you think that would be an option sometime in the future? Like eye color,
At the moment, what we've seen is that most people prefer a one-click trick. They don't want to work too hard on each and every photo. What I can recommend is using the settings, the colorization settings that I've shown at the end, because changing some of those settings could adjust a bit the colors of the clothes and the background, and sometimes even the eye color. So it's not exactly like doing manual changes to a certain color. For those, I would personally recommend using external tools that are much more powerful, like Photoshop, and there are many others. Also, there are great free mobile apps for that. We are more focused on doing things automatically and quick, and applying most of the change automatically. And for the 20% where you want to refine it a bit further, we believe that other external apps can do a better job than us. We eventually don't want to become a new Photoshop.
Right,
so
right.
Yeah.
But I have to say, it is a really wonderful workflow if you do have a program like Photoshop or Photoshop Elements or something like that. So like what I do is I upload my photos into MyHeritage. I go as far as I possibly can with MyHeritage. And then I open it in Photoshop and I just use the spot heal and just get any little dots or something that they haven't been able to correct in MyHeritage. And then it's like so perfect. It's amazing. Even my brother approved, and he's so critical. And he was really, we were working on some pictures last night because we want to share some family pictures. And he was like, wow, this came out really good. And yeah. If you have,
I know several people that are doing the same, and I can also say that some professional graphic designers started even using the photo repair tool to do most of their work. So they will only need to do small and tiny fixes afterwards.
Yep.
So it saves them a lot of time.
Yep. Start in MyHeritage, and then if you have the skill, go on from there. Now, I couldn't change eye color and things like that. It's a little bit beyond the amount of free time I have. But for those of you who do have that skill, you could easily do it in something like Photoshop.
Yeah.
All right. Catherine wants to know, can you save an animated photo from the original photo? So like when you animate somebody and they smile, can you save a photo of that? A snapshot. That would be nice. Nice feature.
You cannot capture a single frame inside the video. What you could try to do is, and I did actually, to take sometimes screenshots. I download it. I use a Mac, but it's also available on a PC. You can just download the video that you just created, open it in a video editor. And then you can just play with the scroll bar until you reach the exact frame where you want to stop, and from there you can usually save the photo. It's sometimes useful indeed, but no, we are not supporting getting into the frame level inside the website itself.
So on a Mac, that would be like, it's GarageBand, right? Isn't that what it's called? The free program on.
I believe it's a video editor. I'm not sure how it's called.
And then on Windows, I think there's Media Maker or something like that. I don't know. There are free programs on both platforms that you can open a video and then export a single frame, which is what you're trying to do.
Definitely.
All right. let me see. You already touched on this, but just to reinforce it, Kim is saying you can copy this to your tree, right? And you can copy this to your computer and send it to family members.
Again, sorry?
Oh, Kim is asking, you can copy the image to your family tree on MyHeritage?
Yeah. So every photo that you colorize or enhance or whatever, we don't create a new version of the photo. What we do is we keep the original and then create another layer on top of that photo with the photo that was generated using those tools. So eventually, when you tag a person, and now this photo of this person appears in your family tree, we use the original photo, but when you click on that photo, you will reach the page where you can see both the original and the improved version. If what you want to do is take the face itself that was created using, I don't know, the photo enhancer or colorization, and you want to use that version, at the moment we don't allow it in the tree, because what we wanted is to have people continue using the family tree with authentic original photos. You need to remember that eventually later people are having tree matches, or what we call smart matches, and they are taking this information from one tree to another, and we don't want your personal photos that you colorized and enhanced to be taken by other people, and they will think that these are authentic photos, and that's why we preferred, for now at least, to use the original photos when they are attached to individuals in your tree. But I can say that we are still thinking about it, and maybe later on we will allow you the freedom to choose and to decide to assign to your family tree profile the improved version of the photo. What you can do in the meanwhile is just download it and upload it again in your original version. That would be like sort of a hack for that. I know it's not so convenient, but I acknowledge this feedback, and we might add this ability in the future.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're taking your time and thinking about that, because there's a lot of implications, from all this technology.
Exactly.
All right, here's an important one from Corinne, and this is something that would impact a lot of people, and it kind of goes back to what you were just saying about like other people taking your pictures. Corinne is saying that when you upload a photo currently, it does not retain the name of the original poster. So say I post a picture of my grandfather, and then one of my distant cousins copies that photo to his tree. When he looks in his tree, it's not going to say that Mary and Pierre-Louis uploaded this photo, that I'm the originator of that photo. So what's the status of that? Because other sites do that. There's always that point of origin, so you know who the person was who uploaded.
Yeah, that's actually a good feedback, which we need to think about. Maybe it's something that can be added. The person that uploaded the photo, show it everywhere where the photo is shown. I can understand why it could be important for many people. And this feedback is noted. We'll definitely think about it.
Corinne says that you can see a discussion about this on the MyHeritage Facebook page. So I believe that's probably the MyHeritage Facebook page. So I guess that's the actual page by MyHeritage and not the MyHeritage user group. But so anyways, you should be able to find more of a discussion over there on Facebook on this topic.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yep. Okay, so Diane is saying, do the algorithms change over time? So if I colorize a photo from 1940 today, and then do the original again in a few years, will it look the same, or will there just be more options?
Again, I didn't quite understand the question.
So she wants to know if the algorithms change over time for like colorize. So say you colorize it today, it looks one way, and so you go back in another year, will the colorize mechanism be different and give you a different result?
Okay. Good question, actually. Since we launched the colorization technology, we did 1 or 2 updates to this technology. And essentially, photos that you colorized using the old version of colorization will be kept in this using this version because that's what you did. But you can go to the settings menu that I showed previously, where you see a panel on the right-hand side of the page, and over there you can select a different model. We name the models according to the date when we released them. So we have like a November 2020 model, and we have one before that, I believe it was August. It was November 2020 and February 2020. So February 2020 is the early model, and November is the latest model. And for every photo that you colorize, if you'll open the settings tab, you'll be able to see using which model it was colorized and also try the other model. So you have the flexibility of trying the new one on any photo. Also, I can say that soon we might release another update that might improve and fix some issues that exist in colorization.
So what you're saying is, going forward, the best practice would be to check the settings, because it seems like you keep options there for previous settings that you can use to test back and forth.
You keep what you previously used, and whenever you want, you can go back and try the new model on an existing photo.
Now, when you were doing your demonstration, you showed us that there were things like titles and keywords and tagging and comments and all these different things. Susan wants to know, will metadata download with the photo?
No, at the moment, metadata will not download with the photo.
So could you?
It requires a different file format, and nowadays it's.
Okay, so that doesn't sound like you're going to be doing anything with that too soon.
No.
Okay, fair enough. Let me see if.
But I believe that when you export a JetCom file of your family tree, it will be exported with the photos and with the metadata. I haven't tried it in quite a while, I must say, but it should work. So if you work with JetCom files, it should work for you.
And it's really easy once you download it from Windows directory to just add whatever you like to the photo, and then it should stay with it. A couple technical things. Yeah. Samuel's asking, what's the maximum size of the photo that can be uploaded for fixing when you're looking to do the repair?
The maximum size?
Maximum size, the biggest size.
I believe it should be 100 megapixel. That should be the biggest resolution we support.
And he also asked, will it accept both TIFF files and GIF files? Or just JPEG?
It won't work on GIFs. I believe that TIFF files should work. If they don't work, then I suggest to just convert them locally to another file format like JPEG or PNG. I believe that we had support for TIFFs in the past. I'm not sure that they work with those features. I need actually to check myself.
And there are a lot of free file format converter programs out there, so just do photo format converter and you'll find a bunch of them. Let's see. I think we've got time for one more question. And let me just see. I'm trying to just go through ones. Okay, so here's one from Steven. He says, I tried to mend a crease in one of the enhanced colorized photos that he had, but there wasn't much of a difference afterwards. Why would this happen?
There was the difference after he did what?
No, so there was like a wrinkle in a photo. You know, there was damage to a photo. So say there was a line across the middle. And he enhanced it and he colorized it. But then when he did the repair, it didn't really do much.
Well, you know, as in all those technologies, sometimes there are cases in which it doesn't, it's not able to fix all the issues, or the colors might not be exactly as you've expected them to be. There are glitches, of course. I'm not sure if he tried the extensive model as well. If he didn't, then I would strongly recommend to try it as well.
Is that in the settings?
If that didn't work as well, then it can sometimes happen.
Is that in the settings? So he'd go into settings to find that extensive model?
Yes.
Okay.
That's in the settings, in the top section of the settings. It's called extensive repair model.
And so let me ask you, Tal, is this an issue of contrast? So if you have damage that occurs in an area of low contrast, the algorithm is going to have a harder time finding it just because there isn't much contrast between the good side of the picture and the bad side of the picture?
Question. Actually, it's possible. It's possible that contrast could lead to that, but not always. Like if the algorithm was able to identify the pattern of the damage on top of the photo, it's able to remove it quite easily. But in some cases, either because of low contrast or because the crease was very small, or there are many other factors that we cannot control, because eventually it's a machine that is learning how different photos behave. You cannot expect all edge cases. But really, like, I tried it on many dozens of photos. Usually it does a pretty good job. But we do see glitches from here and there. Yeah.
Okay, well, that is going to do it for today. I'm just going to say really quickly, because Graham just wrote in saying, should you repair before enhancing or colorizing? I believe Tal said it doesn't matter what order you do anything in, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, even if you previously in the past enhanced and colorized a lot of photos, and now you're saying, wow, I need now to start with repairing all of them, don't worry, because you just need to click the repair button, and we'll start by repairing the original image, then we'll enhance it, and then we'll colorize it. So the order is always the same, and it's always a click of a button for you. So it should be quite easy.
One late comment here. Lynn is saying 4,000 pixels high and 5,000 pixels wide is the limit, is what she is saying.
Yes, that's correct. That's the limit for uploading, but it's actually a technical thing that we will improve soon, because that's the limit when uploading from this page. If you upload photos from the other pages that I've shown, myheritage.com/incolor or /photo enhancer or Deep Nostalgia, from those pages you have a much higher limit. So we are working also to improve the upload from that page to be able to upload bigger photos, and that will be available soon as well.
All right, that is going
to... And of course, you can always upload photos from the mobile app as well.
From where?
From the mobile app, the MyHeritage mobile app. If you're not using it, just search for MyHeritage on the App Store and Google Play.
Okay, great. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Tal, for being here today and for walking us through the different features, especially the new repair feature, which, of course, hot off the presses is so wonderful. And to our audience, thank you for spending these last 90 minutes with us. We appreciate the time that you have spent, because we know that everybody has busy lives. Hopefully, we'll see you at the next MyHeritage webinar. That's it. Bye, everybody.